Well, Brent, it does have fur and it does have spots, and it is indeed shadow. So those guinea fowl alarm calling was her. She managed to walk past those guinea fowl, and one of the vehicles picked her up just in front of us. So our senses when it came to the guinea fowl was very spot on. And isn't it amazing to find her? Now, I'm hoping, I haven't been able to see her very nicely because she was lying on that branch, but I want to see her very carefully when she comes past to see if she does have suckle marks. And wouldn't it be incredible if she took us to the den site this afternoon? That would be absolutely amazing. So we're going to just try to see when she comes past. She's busy sniffing around there. I don't know, maybe there's another leopard that's walked here at some point that she's smelling. So you can see she's had her head down sniffing, and I can't see her belly very nicely at all. So tough to see, but we'll just keep looking and just hopefully she'll walk into a clearing that I can actually see her. But I'm really excited to catch up with her. I was hoping that we would find her, and when I heard those guinea fowl alarm calling, I was convinced that it could be one of these cats. Like I said, even Tingana also moves around in this area, but I was really hoping it would be her. I'm just going to try and quickly just position ourselves. We had a slight picture breakup there, but it does happen. We're in an area that's a little bit difficult, so hopefully wherever she goes, if her den site is around and she does have cubs, that we can be able to keep going with her. But it looks like she's actually now eating grass, so this is quite a common thing for cats to do. They often eat the grass just to help with the digestive tract, so as they eat it helps them to clean everything out. And let's have a look at that belly now. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it. Difficult to see, but it does look like there's a bit of matting of fur there. So it does look like she does have suckle marks, which is great news. So it means that in all likelihood she could be going back to her den. It's that time of the day that she might head there, especially if she's been out hunting the whole day. Then she could potentially start looking to go back to the cubs to feed them. Obviously it could be the opposite way around. She could be going out to hunt and has been with the cubs the whole day. But where her tracks came from the south and were coming up this way, and now she's turned off and gone straight west into this area. And this is where we thought she had her den, is along these drainage systems that are on our west and northern side. So the first time we ever saw her kind of going and looking like she was about to give birth, this is where she headed. So we are in the right area. The only problem is it's getting very dark now. So the problem with this is that the cubs is that obviously at the age that they will be, which would be now, I think those cubs would probably be about 4.5 weeks old. We just gone into a little warthog hole, so we have to just get out of that quickly. We good there, Dave?
Yeah, all good.
So with this long grass, sometimes quite difficult to see these holes that are in the grass here. So every now and then you just get a tire going down, which does happen, but it's okay. But yeah, I believe a lot of you are very excited to see Shadow. So the first of Karula's offspring, and she's had such bad luck with cubs that I'm really hoping that this time she gets it right and she's able to successfully produce and raise her cubs to adulthood. And isn't she beautiful? That's amazing. It's such a nice picture that she's posing so nicely on that fallen over tree, and the reason she's doing that is to try to get a little bit of height to be able to see what's going on. So walking through this long grass, you can see she can't see much over that grass, so these fallen over trees are the perfect things to be able to go up onto and then look around and see, okay, is there anything that is around? Is there any predators, any prey items that I could potentially hunt? So a really good place to go. Now there is another big fallen over tree coming up, and I think she's going to head to that, so I'm going to try and just loop around there quickly and see if we can maybe just get in front of her. So let's see. There's a big fallen over marilla, and there we go. She's gone straight up it, and there we go. So she's just using that to look around, and she seems like she's spotted something, and judging by that tummy, you can see she's looking a little bit thin, so she definitely does need a meal at some point. And if she does have cubs, with the milk that she'll be producing, it will cause her to utilize so much more of the nutrients she's getting, and so she'll be having to feed a lot more often. I still can't see 100% if she's got milk and suckle marks. It's kind of the angle that we're at is just not working for us, but I'm hoping she's going to go up another fallen over tree like this, and then I'll be able to try and position in a way that I can actually see what's going on there. But you can see lots of scent marking that she's doing as well, which is fairly typical. And she's been quite elusive of late. She hasn't really been seen very much, which is typical of her when she goes into this stage of her life. When she starts breeding, she often does this as she has cubs. She becomes a lot harder to find as she first has them, and then once the cubs are actually fairly mobile, then she actually becomes quite easy. She's then doesn't live up to her name at all. She becomes a lot easier to find. She seems to relax with cubs rather than the other way around, which is quite strange. Now it looks like she's going to go back to that tree. There we go. But isn't she beautiful? She's such a small little girl in comparison to some of the others, and even her mom. I always forget how little she is until I see her. And I wonder if Shongile is going to be a similar size. Even now, Shongile is quite a small girl. I wonder if she's going to be very similar to her sister this. You can see she's still eating quite a bit of grass. Let's see, she looks like she's going to just come around the back of us here. Beautiful. So she's just walking around the back of the vehicle at this stage, which is amazing. It's always so special to be so close to these big cats. Okay, so we're going to follow her for a little bit, and because it's getting quite dark, we're just going to go back to Jamie so she can say her goodbyes, and then be back with us and see where she goes. So we will have fun, Jamie. I hope everybody else is having fun. Like I say, with Shadow, and any leopard is always fun. It's always good to be with them, and it's such a good time of day to be with a leopard. Careful your head here, Dave. We've got some low-hanging foliage. Got it? Alright, cool. Just trying not to decapitate Dave as we follow through here. Lost visual of her for now, but she was heading in this general direction, and there's another fallen over tree just in front of us, so I'm hoping that's where she's kind of heading to. So I'm just going to go and position ourselves there and hope that's where she's going to come out. Oh, yeah, she is. She's just on our left, so she should come straight towards this tree. I'm hoping she will. Wouldn't it be nice if she goes into that low branch? There she is. She's just on our left-hand side here. So here she comes. So there's a nice marula that she's coming up to now, and I'm hoping she's going to jump into the lowest branch here. It's a perfect horizontal branch. It would be really nice if she went up into it, but I don't think so. I think she's going to walk past it. It's unfortunately not the right angle. Had it been sloping the other way, I think she might have gone up it, but it seems to be sloping the wrong way for her. So let's see. Okay, come on, girl. No, she's going to walk straight past it. So even the best laid plans can sometimes fail. I was, like I say, hoping that she was going to go there. There's another little tree that she's coming up to now that she might just put her paws on and go up. She's just going over that one. So, Nigel, that is an interesting question. So Nigel's asked why Shadow has been so unsuccessful and why she's lost so many cubs. I think there's quite a few sort of reasons for it. One is she's been in an area where she's been on the overlap between different males, so she's had to deal with quite a number of males that have always been on the fringes of her area. So she's had, Tingana and Mvula for a long time that were on the edges. There was Mafufanyan before that had an edge with Mvula, and she was kind of in the middle of that, and the Jordan male. So she's really been on the fringes all the time, and so that means that these other males tend to drift into her territory, find her with the cubs and kill them. Also, we've had males in this area that haven't really been that good for cubs. Tingana, even though he's been around and he mates a lot, he's killed his fair share of cubs, even ones that we think that he's produced. And then before him, Mafufanyan did it a few times too. So she's had that problem. We also have a very high percentage of hyenas in the area that we're in at the moment. So we have hyenas that are on the Djuma side at the den that we have there, and then there's hyenas on the Elephant Plains den. So she's stuck between those two clans. So lots of hyenas in the places that she dens. And then maybe she's just unfortunately picks bad den sites. So she seems to always get them past us sort of the first 2 months, and then she ends up losing them. So maybe she's just choosing bad places, and unfortunately that's why hyenas and other leopards and lions are finding them and killing them. Alright, so we're going to continue to follow her. We're going to go back to Brent, who I believe has got the Birmingham boys with some rather large company. So Shadow is still moving quite quickly through this block. It's proving to be quite tough to follow her. Lots of fallen over trees. It's not an easy area to keep up with her, but she's just kind of walking parallel with us, and there is a nice termite mound just to our right. Oh, she's changed direction. There was a beautiful termite mound to our right that I was hoping she was going to go to, but let's see how she goes. She's just sniffing around there and having a look. So, unfortunately, you can see the camouflage that she has. Pretty incredible. Amazing, amazing camouflage when they get in. Alright, so we're going to quickly go back to Brent, who I believe has got some action on his side.